Every rap artist has a different take on King Vaughn. Some say he was a real legend, while others think he wasn't. The way Lil Durk felt about him, though, was what truly got folks talking. And listen to what Van's adversaries had to say. Let's begin with Wookie. These two were notoriously Van's foes and were never cool. When asked about Van, Wookie didn't hold back because he regularly ridiculed him in his songs and even made fun of him anytime he had the opportunity. Capone sat down with Wookie by the trap and brought up King Van's documentary, Laura Ross, and Wookie swiftly shut it down, saying they were making a big deal out of Van's reputation in that doc.
Vaughn, no, I beat that, made you cry until I embarrassed you. Vaughn.
Wookie wasn't done yet, so he went off and called Van an idiot, claiming that he wasn't truly like that in real life and that he was just talking. He went so far as to say that he, Van outside of Oblak.
What do you think when you hear his songs and him name dropping you and everything?
Man, that be funny to me.
How do you feel about these documentaries in general?
Man, they just be running their mouth saying anything.
They just be running their mouths. So you don't think there's none of the stuff in the documentaries are factual at all?
Hell no.
According to him, the incident happened when he was walking down King Drive and some Oblak men were loitering outside. Nobody wanted to do anything severe since they knew they would be detained immediately and the police were close by. Van and Wookie simply went up to one another and started fighting instead of shooting. A few old block guys joined in, but the cops intervened before things got out of hand. In a later interview, Wookie stated that he really did Van dirty during that fight, giving the impression that he was in control. Vaughn even brought up the incident live before he died. He didn't avoid it when someone mentioned Wookie's name.
They say she love Wooski. We don't even know no Wooski. It's slower. Hey, Wooski can't tell y'all I beat his one day. He ain't tell y'all that he too dumb to remember. I would punch.
Let's talk about FBG Duck. Van's primary rival, Duck, claimed that the crew decided they wanted to jump because Van had previously tried to interact with them, but was actually playing both sides in secret. He started discussing Durk and Vaughn when FBG Duck went live. He didn't hold back when it came to Vaughn, but a tragedy happened soon after the live incident while Duck was shopping in the Gold Coast, one of the more upscale and secure areas of Chicago. He and others were walking. Duck was struck in the neck and chest as 4 gunmen jumped out ready to fire. Sadly, he passed away right there. When Vaughn heard the news, it shook the city, but instead of crying, he went live to rejoice. The foul conflict was so intense that Van couldn't tolerate Duck mentioning his name, but not all rappers detested Van. In fact, when fans questioned P. Rico, who represented Brick Squad, about his sentiments for Van, he didn't make fun of him at all. Next came Lil J. And since Lil J and Van had spent time together in Cook County Jail, and both had a history of misbehaving while incarcerated, fans started speculating as soon as Lil J was questioned about Van. Since even Lil J's own inmates attempted to avoid him after learning that Lil J was acting in an uncomfortable manner with other convicts, many people assume that Van avoided Lil J at all because around him.
Especially Vaughn. He know he got ass beat. Sugar. He got his beat on the bus. Your ass used to hang with us on Sugar. He flipped because your ass was scared.
Little J was implicated in fights in the jail and allegedly beat up another inmate for interfering with a man he was dating, in addition to being caught in those viral recordings. People started to think Van had been telling the truth all along once all of that film went public. In one clip, a man was even seen kissing him while seated on his lap.
What's all on, y'all good? Ain't no more FB.
Few people at the time took Von seriously when he tried to reveal Lil J's dubious behavior while he was confined before his death.
But I like him though, I ain't gonna lie to you and Joseph. I don't phone them. Y'all happy now? I just told y'all what I told y'all. Now what the else you want from me?
Now, let's talk about 051 Kiddo, another of Van's well-known opponents. It was revealed that Kiddo and Van actually shared a jail cell, and everyone was taken aback by Kiddo's response when asked about Van.
He was still my shorty, man. He was scared of me, man. Double O, man. That was still my shorty, man. He went on man. See these shot right, that music might sing good, man. See these out here on the chrome.
In a Say Cheese interview, he continued, acknowledging that despite coming from different sets, he and Kiddo shared a deep regard for one another. Additionally, he asserted, "He fought for me, brother. He fought for me, bro." Kiddo also explained why he periodically made fun of Vaughn. They were cool in jail, claiming that it was because Vaughn had treated his loved ones disrespectfully. Supporters were startled by that. Kiddo couldn't ignore him when he was alive, so let's switch to another significant name. 051, Melly. In addition to being an enemy, Melly was considered one of Dirk and Van's riskiest operations. Melly's Live, mockery of Dirk's manager Chino, in which she said, "Yeah, Chino," fueled claims that she was complicit in the killing of Chino.
And it's a lot of be I could tough to jail, go to jail, be on straight shit. Perfect example, Lil J.
That was their statement. Melly's response to fans in Atlanta who questioned him about Van and Dirk's handling of a crucial crisis was utterly ridiculous. Get thee out of here.
You walk in your cell and you see King Von. What's your first reaction?
No reaction. You from
No
the
reaction.
I'm from Young Money 051. It wasn't none like that.
Not only did Chicago rappers express their feelings, but artists from other cities also shared their thoughts on King Vaughn. He was referred to by some as a crash dummy, and by others as one of the most authentic people who had ever done it. The rap scene was sparked when NBA YoungBoy started attacking King Von in his songs, even though most people were unaware that NLE Chopper and Vaughn were tight behind the scenes. It astonished many that NLE Chopper was one among the first to defend Vaughn, even though he admired YoungBoy. Choa was direct when asked by DJ Academics why he stood up for Vaughn, saying that loyalty and respect were more significant than fame. However, not all rappers in the days after Van's murder in Atlanta felt the same way. T.I. posted a controversial message online that read, "Stop coming here to kill each other." The statement, which was taken as demeaning Von T by basically saying that Von brought instability to Atlanta and carried on doing dirt while there, infuriated fans.
He fought for me.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, he fought for me, bro. He fought for me. I
Like
got
what?
into it with
Somebody
a nigga.
was trying to fuck with you or what?
Man, no, I got into it with a on front of grade. No, I'm finna fight for you, bro.
Bowie was asked about Vaughn in an interview with DJ Vlad, so he wasn't the only rap icon to speak out about Van. But compared to Ty, who angered some people who thought he was blaming him when Van died, Bowie had a different feeling and respected Van's name more.
Though I'm dissing, it is what it is, folks. But you dissed on mine, though. So you gonna feel the same way I felt, folks.
One artist went well beyond words and publicly desecrated Van's tomb, but not all of them were in love. AA didn't mince words when questioned why she had done it, acting as if she had no remorse. Other rappers criticized the entire incident as being incredibly rude, and it went viral online. But every time Van's name was brought up, it wasn't just AA. In a Say Cheese Charleston interview, Vaughn disclosed the real cause of his incompatibility with Van. He simply begins saying the craziest things without any filter around Charleston, and it becomes intense. When asked why he disliked King Vaughn so much, Charleston White explained that it wasn't personal, but rather about educating people about what's really right.
Yeah, Chino Burger, that's what they said.
But Charleston wasn't the only one who thought that. FBI, Maine also used strong language on Say Cheese to honestly say that he thought Van was a real-life demon. King comes next. After getting embroiled in a street fight in Chicago, Maine's friend Yella turned his attention to YouTube in an attempt to live a better life. Even still, Yella continued to criticize Vaughn, saying he was too rough and conceited, as though he thought he was invincible. Kodak Black eventually joined in, making fun of Vaughn on Instagram Live and generally reiterating the idea that Van was acting too carelessly.
That's how a free Dirk girl and Vaughn. Freedom, I'd rather them dead than in jail. But Vaughn, he was in there, been in jail before. I know how to fight. You hear me? Knew something.
Bro don't be able to defend his name, and like, I just feel like with street stuff, if you did it, if that was your work, if you did all this and do that, speak freely of it, speak highly of it. You got every right to do it. That was your shit, that was your work, do it. But like certain stuff be coming from outsiders and like that wasn't even there when certain happened. Like, I just don't respect that part of it.
Now, let's talk about one of Van's most well-known enemies, FBG Butter. The two had previously clashed in real life and had even met several times. Butter told a crazy story about meeting Vaughn on a bus and what happened when he was asked about one of those encounters. In a subsequent interview with DJ UTV, he went into further detail about the altercation, and guess what? Van himself once went live to talk about his past battles, so there is some truth to it.
Everybody was trying to get me to come out. I was gonna go, bro, but I had to make a move, bro. And I just feel like, I don't know, bro. Everything happened, bro, but I probably could have talked to them this up.
I woke up in the morning and being there, and you was viral as hell. Every blog site, it shows the picture of you at King Von Memorial.
What, if I had to pull it out and piss on him?
Yeah, that was the caption.
I'm sorry, God ain't blessing me with no That's all I gotta say.
As far as loyalty was concerned, Lil Durk never faltered. Durk referred to Van as the one when he was still living and described him as one of the most sincere individuals he had ever encountered. Durk continued to pay tribute to Vaughn in his music after his death, releasing poignant songs about his deceased brother. But not all fans were pleased with Durk's handling of the situation following Van's passing. Some thought he ought to have done more. Even his sister can be heard in the background of that video, stating that he lost one fight. Van didn't dispute it. He just claimed that justice was served later.
You and your hood in Chicago and everything King Von stand for. Stomp on his head, King Von dead.
1,
10 seconds.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. King Von all over.
Okay, I'm glad you feel that way. Okay.
Asked in the comments, they said, well, say Cheese, why does Charleston White hate King Von so much?
Man, he killed black people and bragged about it. He bragged about killing black people.
He also said this about him.
From your city and from your hood, they're saying, nah, this is a demon, this is the devil. And I'm asking, was he really a demon? And our kids love this demon, then that means that spirit, homie, is past.
69 went live and mocked King Vaughn, saying, "When I die, my people will slide every day," especially since nothing had transpired for a few months.
King Von said, when I die, my gonna slide every day. Cat. Cat. Who slipped for King Von yet? Weston pissed.
It was clearly a jab at Van's famous lyrics, but it was more than that. To deflect attention from the tragedy, 69 continued trolling after Van's death, which was incredibly disrespectful. But the clowning soon caught up with him, as a few guys at LA Fitness saw him stumbling and humiliated him in front of everyone by handing him on live. The worst part is that another rapper was kicked out of the mall for making fun of Lil Baby. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more authentic stories if you want to see that madness.